In my coaching work, I also use nature as a tool for growth. There are many advantages to this. As a species, we often don't recognize our responsibility to be stewards of nature and have separated ourselves from it. So part of what I do is take executives out on hikes or in a natural setting to reconnect them to nature, so there's an opportunity to recognize we're part of it. We're not separate and distinct from it. Yes, we have a stewardship responsibility. Partly it's getting my clients out of the office and into a different setting where they can be more creative. When hiking or just walking, you're using the left and right sides of your body, and you're using the left and right hemispheres of your brain. So if I'm out on a hike with a leader, they're suddenly finding that they're more creative, more aware, and better at solving problems. They also get the physiological benefit of getting more oxygen to their brain because they're out in nature with the trees. There's also a whole dimension to what nature can teach us from a system standpoint. The mycelium in the earth are a network that the trees use to communicate with each other, which science is just starting to understand. We know that when somebody walks into a forest, a tree will send out a chemical reaction that goes through the mushroom mycelium, letting all the other trees in the area know that there's a human being in the forest, sending out an alert about the things that they need to be aware of. I do believe that the root systems that exist with trees have a lot in common with corporate environments. With companies, it's an energetic matrix that gets woven into an organization. And when people move around in the workplace, whether it's physically or virtually, they connect into that matrix. Then it affects how they show up, and in turn affects how the matrix operates. As a species, before we walk into a room, our bodies know what we're walking into long before we hear anything or see anything with our 5 primary senses. Our energetic bodies picking up signals and telling us whether or not it's safe and how to respond. The human body gets hit with about 12 million pieces of information per second, and only about 4,000 of those 12 million actually make it to the brain. And then many of those 4,000 get processed by the amygdala or the mammalian brain, and only a handful at best of the 12 million get to the prefrontal cortex, the area of the human brain where we know we can actually process it. Our body's constantly reacting and responding to things, whether it's light or sound, temperature, vibrations, energetic stuff, that our conscious mind has no awareness of. With the clients I work with, whether it's one-on-one coaching or in the consulting work I do, I meet people where they are. There are a number of clients I work with that I can't talk about these kinds of sensory cues. It's so far beyond their understanding of reality. And in some ways, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I can approach it from a different perspective. I can give them other tools to help them be effective, and over time, if they're receptive and they want to learn, then I'm happy to share.